So this is World Cup all-time greats on the PC. As it says, welcome to the World Cup 1994. You can pick any team that's qualified for the actual World Cup, or stick in the teams that have won before, or played in it before. So I'll put my name in. My actual proper name for a change. So basically, if you remember Tracksuit Manager, can't spell my own name, which was an international football management game, which was really good. Unless you weren't English. And if you weren't English, you had to write in all the names of your players. So it's just England every time. Just used to put Lee Chapman in the side because he was great at Leeds in the early 90s. So these are the teams you see on screen now that they played in the 1994 World Cup. And here's me taking this. I could edit this video. I could. But as you can see on screen, it's 30-odd minutes long. If you want to tune out now, I don't blame you. But I'm taking out most of the teams. I started, right, and I thought, because obviously I'm doing this commentary afterwards, I will take out the teams I'm not that bothered about seeing in the World Cup and replace them with teams from the past. But I ended up just having to take out pretty much every single team from Brazil, from USA 94, and I thought I'd better leave in a few of them, like the teams who are actually any good. But as you can see, it's not just great teams in the past, like England in 66 or England in 1990. I wonder how they got the data for that. But also the other home nations who didn't qualify, which is all of them in 1994. Obviously, Ireland were there, but they don't count for purposes of this. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and England, their glorious squads of 1994, all represented in this game, along with some of the great players of the past. So basically, Tracksuit Manager was international football. You managed England, or as I say, anyone you wanted. Came out 89, 90-ish. I should really do research, shouldn't I? But I haven't. And was really good. I think I got on budget for the Amstrad. But then, in 1994, they brought out this World Cup all-time greats. And I thought, ooh, some of the adverts in Amiga format and Amiga Power, I thought, ooh, this looks great. Never bought it, because, you know, I was 13, didn't have loads of money to spend on computer games, apart from, you know, getting them cheap off Wakefield Market. Proper ones, not Schneidy ones. So, eventually got this game a few years later, from the market, amazingly, for about a couple of quid. In a big box with a disc, an actual disc, because as you can probably tell by this game, it didn't need to be on a CD-ROM. So one 3.25-inch floppy, 3.25, 3.5, it's 5.25, wasn't it? 3.5-inch floppy, and you've been right. We're in. I am managing England in 1990. I'm not managing England in 1966. Let me remember who I'm managing. You can look at the fixtures. No fixtures. Oh, there they are coming up. Oh, who did I manage? No, I do manage England 1990. You can have a look at the squad teams in your group. And obviously, I've got two Argentinas in my squad. There's the 1978 squad. You see Ozzy Ardiles in there. And some other ones. Kempes. Not all the positions of these players are accurate, I don't think. You can see what style of play they are. Overall, Argentina 1978, useful. Did they win the World Cup? There's Ozzy Ardiles' stats. He's fairly fit. He's got excellent skill. So basically, they've had to go through this role team. So you can, you know, I'm also put up against Italy 1938. Now, I ain't got a clue who any of these people are, but they're another useful side. And they play 4-3-3. So anyway, I finished that. So I can go and play the next game, but I can't do that. So switch the dates. I'll tell you what, we'll watch, I think, Germany 1974 versus England 1966 to get a feel for this game. So there's the two lineups. As you'd expect, all the players you've heard of. I thought Bobby Moore was a defender, to be honest, but he's playing in midfield. I don't know. So there you go. And basically just press play match, and it plays the match. And when I say it plays the match, if you ever played Tracksuit Manager, this is pretty much what you got. This is like playing the Amstrad version on the PC. You've got all that extra power, all that extra memory, and it's just a text-based game with a bar going across the screen. So you've got the commentary there. No one reads it, do they? So you just press up for it to go faster. I'm trying to work out how long into this game before I got bored. I thought I would press the up button for the defence to go faster. As I edit these videos on Windows Movie Maker, I can't be bothered cutting it properly. My laptop's broken. It's half falling apart. And the sound's out of sync. So I have to record the audio elsewhere, import it into Windows Movie Maker. And basically, I'm lazy. You know where like LGR is lazy game reviews, and he's actually, you know, he's not lazy. He puts lots of effort into his videos. Me, I just can't be asked. Do it when I feel like it. Anyway, you can tell I've pressed up now because it's going faster. It's still 0-0. Basically, this is the whole game. Oh, look, someone's been injured. Nobby Stiles has been injured. And Callahan's come on. You've got subs. The problem is with your subs, when you use them all, obviously you've got no play. Your squad's very small, as we'll see when we get to picking the England side. The other problem with this game is as well, players get sent off, and get sent off quite a bit. Wrestle more. Oh, it's half-time like that. You can't really do much in watch mode, apart from, watch. So when your players get sent off, it doesn't always register, which is a bit of a problem. And sometimes you can sub off players that have been injured, and if you make a mistake with your sub, tough, you can't go back. So I used up all my subs later. Oh, England have scored. George Cohen, get in. England 1, Germany 0. In the 84th minute as well, look at that. Can Germany get one back? No, they can't. Payne has scored. I don't know who that is. And England have won 2-0. There's the stats. England well on top. Northern Ireland have just lost to Brazil 2-1. Did well in that one, Northern Ireland 1984. Are we on yet? I should have been England 1994, shouldn't I? No, but I'm England 1990. I don't know why now. Anyway, USA have beaten England, so that's about right. Brazil 6, Italy 0. Pele with a couple. Of course, Pele's in a couple of squads on this game. Italy 0, Ireland 0, which of course was 1-0 at the actual World Cup. 20 fouls and 2 sending offs for the Italians. Uruguay have beaten Germany there, 3-1. Wales of 1994 have drawn with Brazil. Ian Rush and Mark Hazelwood. How did that happen? Well, Brazil 58, one of the greatest teams of all time. Drew with Wales, who of course didn't qualify for the World Cup because your man missed a penalty. Germany 1990 beat Italy 82. Thomas Hessler with a goal. So we're still not on yet. Uruguay 30 versus Brazil of 94. Scotland versus Argentina. I don't know how the AI works on this. It's anyway. So Brazil drew 1-1. Argentina sneaking through, patting everyone with the goal for Scotland. But Diego Maradona just scrapes Argentina through 2-1. So that was exciting. Oh, we're on. So here we are. There's the Argentinian side. And here's me picking my team. Oh, no, it's me looking at their team. I don't know if I've looked at their team. So you can pick your tactics, what formation, playing style, attacking style, marking style, passing style, tackling style, and defence system. Don't go for zonal marking because all the people on the telly will have a go at you. I do fiddle with my tactics throughout the competition to try and find a way of being any good, which is pretty much an impossibility. Anyway, here's my squad. So I've only got 2 goalkeepers, Peter Shilton and Chris Woods. So, yeah, go with Shilton. He can go in goal. Because I've chosen 4-4-2, my defensive options are not too many. Not too many options anywhere. So, Pearson Walker. You never beat Des Walker. I don't want Terry Butchering because I don't like him on the radio. But then I realise I've got no players, so I have to pick him. Paul Parker. Then in midfield, I thought Mark Wright was more of a defender, but he's in midfield here. I'm picking Waddle. Of course I'm picking Waddle. Get him in there. And David Platt, he should be in there. Gazza's down as a forward, which is a bit disconcerting because I've not really got 4 midfielders, so I don't know who to pick. So Gazza's going in midfield anyway, isn't he? Alongside, I put John Barnes at front or in midfield, or Neil Webb. No, Neil Webb's going in there apparently. The postman. And up front, Gary Lineker. Whatever happened to him? Saw his last game at Ellen Road when he played for Grampus 8 versus Leeds in a friendly. And disappeared off to Japan. You never hear of him anymore. What happened there? And speaking of people you don't hear about anymore, there's Peter Beardsley. John Barnes is useful. And he's totally fit. He's well fit, isn't he? So there's my squad. Come on, England. Da, 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 da. 3 lines on the shirt. It's coming home. Oh, is it? So anyway, this is, you've seen this game. Are we going to beat Argentina of 78, who are apparently not that bad? Here's Stuart Pearce having a shot. And again, when you're managing, you can't really do much. And the game doesn't stop when something happens. So if a player gets injured and you've got the up button pushed and you have to press up all the time to go faster, I don't know if anyone would make it go slower. When you go up, and like someone gets sent off or injured, the game doesn't stop. So you have to actually physically take your finger off the button to then press the substitute button to change things. So fairly even, although I'd say Argentina marginally on top in this one, as England looked to break the deadlock midway through the first half. Still, Argentina 1978 0, England 1990 0. England were all right in 1990. It's the first World Cup I really remember. I can kind of remember 86. I had the sticker book, which was odd because I wasn't really into football when I was 5. Anyway, they've appealed for a penalty. It's not happened. And the Argentinians still looking for that opening goal. 10 to go before the break as Neil Webb has a shot. Of all the people they could have chosen to be in this squad, they went with Neil Webb. Anyway, let me have a drink because there's nothing happening here. So this is live. Lovely. Half-time 0-0. My tactics would be don't make any substitutions because it doesn't help. I don't know why I'm changing formation. But I have done. 4-3-3. Unless you go Webb, Lineker and Beardsley. That'd be good. Am I making a sub here? I'm bringing John Barnes on. John Barnes, powered by Lucozade Sport. It's isotonic, so it's in balance with your body fluids. What a great advert that was. Do I make any... P tactics is player tactics, of course. So if you want people to kick people and stuff. Who do I pick here? Terry Butcher. Do I have time to kick someone? Strong, heavy tackling, standard tackling. Heavy. Kick 'em! Long passing game, because of course, it is England. What have I made Chris Waddle do? Not take penalties, obviously. There's no option to get onto a Pizza Hut advert. If you well, yeah, Lineker take penalties, that's what we want. So basically, there's little bits and pieces you can do in this game. I'm getting Des Walker to Mark Kempes, because he's one of the only players I've heard of. It's all right. And as you can see by this, I guess this is a playthrough. I don't know. You can play your whole World Cup in 30 minutes. You can probably play it even quicker if you don't bother to watch other people's games and stuff. As Des Walker has a shot. I wonder if England's switched to 4-3-3 at half-time by their tactical genius of a manager will go well. I need to do some more Football Manager games. This was released by Summit Software, which I always thought it was another brand of alternative, but I'm not sure. I need to play stuff like Thomas the Tank Engine, really. That's what people want to see playing. I thought there'd be no videos of this on YouTube, but there are actually a few. But obviously, you don't get on those an international sports broadcaster as featured on Digital Spy. So, what a unique selling point for you watching this video. I hope people are streaming this onto their tellies in glorious, not HD. I mean, the video's in HD, but there's no bloody point in being in HD. Glorious 640 by 480 or whatever it is. Has anything happened yet? And are enjoying this. I mean, if this gets 10 views, I'll be shocked. Imagine if I did a Patreon, I'd be giving them money. No one would watch my rubbish. But more videos to come when I can be bothered. So you just take a bit of hassle on my Steam-powered laptop. Not Steam, not that Steam. Actual Steam-powered laptop. I'm trying to do some Amiga games, but I've had to do this because I'm not technically minded like people. When computers break down in the family, they'll come to me to try and fix them. But I'm not like... That's nil-nil. Rubbish. I don't know how to, capture video properly because I've just got a bog standard laptop. I'm not a professional in this. So I just use a screen capture device for this PC thing. And on games like this, it's easy enough to do, isn't it? Because obviously it's just text. There's no great action. Oh, you get sports headlines from the Daily Slag, which is interesting. All people of the time, Gunnell and Christie rejoice. Rovers victorious. One assumes that's Hull Kingston or Featherstone. Drug tests. Robin Smith's son fit. And the radio listings on page 29 of the Sporting Knife. Oh, I can't wait to see what's on BBC Radio 5, as it may have been at the time. I think it changed by then. So there's more fixtures going on. England 94 lost to Brazil 1970. Gary Pallister with a goal. It's a shock. USA 2, Italy 34-2. Well, they're probably about all 100 years old. So you can give them that. Now, there's an interesting one, isn't it? Brazil 62, England 66. That was 1-1. And Italy of today, if it was 1994, beat the great Brazilians 2-0. It's all right, clicking save there. Anyway, here's the league tables. England 94, rubbish. Where are we? Uruguay, good. All the teams are against their old rivals, which is a bit of a problem. No, that's not us either. Are we in D? Oh, there we are in D. All 4 teams have drawn. It's the group of draws. So Uruguay and Italy have drawn. Uruguay have lost to Brazil. And Italy have drawn with Ireland. Ian Rushwood is second of the World Cup. I've got a lead shirt signed by Ian Rushwood in a competition in the Evening Post. I don't know what to do with it. Because it was when he signed it, it's like, oh, Brian McCluskey, he's going to be a big star for Leeds. And as it turns out, he wasn't. Ended up at Sheffield United, I think. Newcastle. And what does he do now? He gets on the telly. They'll show him when Liverpool are playing in Europe or something. It's all very exciting. So that's Italy beating Scotland. You get lots of fouls in these games. And Argentina of 86 have beaten West Germany of 1990. So I guess that's a bit of revenge from the 1990 World Cup final, isn't it? We're back on. Playing Italy of 1938 now. Am I going to change my team? So it goes back to the team who you played in the at the start of the first game. And I haven't bothered to change it because at this point I'm thinking I just want to get this game done because I want to show you the video and the game and you can all decide if it's good or not. I think you've probably decided already. So as you may have seen flashing through there, Chris Waddle has been sent off the field, which is disconcerting. And I haven't been able to do anything about it because I've just played on. What's the point? Someone gets injured soon. I remember this because I completely... Oh, let's see. Here, Lineker is seriously injured and stretch it off. Pugger! He's like the star player. So I have to quickly cross the substitute and find a player to bring on. And I think I cock up here and try and bring on someone for Peter Beardsley instead of Lineker. Or do I? Let's have a look. Oh, no, I brought Neil Webb into midfield. Oh, no, I have. I brought Neil Webb on for Beardsley. I've cocked it up. So now I've taken Peter Beardsley off and I can't bring him back on because it was my own fault. Oh, no, I've brought him back on. What I've done is I've brought him back on and now I can't make any other substitutions. You can't bring a... Oh, anyway. There's plenty of bugs in this game. I'm not saying they rushed it out in time for the World Cup. I can't imagine thousands of people bought this game. In the 1994 World Cup, there was a wash with football games. Empire Soccer. Because I've been going through the old magazines to try and find some details of this. Empire Soccer. You remember that one? That was all right. And Sierra Soccer. Was Football Glory out around that time? That was like Sensible Soccer, but with streakers and stuff. 1-0 Italy. Oh, it's not enough for England here, is it? So 1994 was a wash with football games. It was a bit of an issue at the time. And manager games as well. You had the likes of Premier Manager. That was good. Champ Manager was in its pomp. Spent years playing Champ Manager 93, 94 on the Amiga. 10 years in a row won the league title with Leeds United, with the great Oleg Salenko as my star man. So there you go, England have lost. Now, you remember Waddle got sent off. Didn't show there. Didn't show on the stats. So that's a bit rubbish. So we look like we're heading out of the tournament, which is a shame. Unconvincing. There's a Brighton Old Clock. The bowlers in the Daily Slag. Lara speaks out. White Taught Snooker. I tried to get Brian Lara's autograph once when I was a kid watching Yorkshire and Warwickshire at Scarborough, and he just walked off and said, "Later," like that. And he never came back. Bob Willis signed autographs, though, and he's like, comes across on TV as a bit moody, but he was quite nice with all the people who waited for his autograph. And Charles Colville. I don't know where my autograph book is anymore. You can tell that I've completely lost interest in this game at least. Craig Levein just scored for Scotland. And Italy 82 beating Argentina 86 4-3. This is the news. Maradona with the late winner there. Did Rossi do that celebration into the camera in this imaginary game of football? I mean, the concept's quite good, isn't it? And you had those old FIFA when it was good in the 90s, when you had 8 indoor mode, we just got everyone sent off. And B, you had those classic games you could replay. There's something in a game where you can play old teams against each other, old players against each other. I'm sure there was advertised or rumoured there's going to be a Championship Manager All-Stars, which never came to fruition, which would have been an interesting concept, and I guess after you've played it a couple of times, the novelty value might wear off. But there is something in the game where you can pick all the best players of all time in an 11 against another all the best players. And it's just names, isn't it? It doesn't really matter. I'm doing a scouting mission. Why have I done that? So now I've played more teams and watched more teams. I've got more scouting reports to look at, you see. So there's the Argentina squad of 1994. No Maradona. He's not in. But I see what's in there. Oh, Diego Simeone. There he is. Totally fit. But he's low on confidence. Not that these days, is he? So yeah, Championship Manager All-Stars was advertised or rumoured to be coming out. I thought, this is going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to this. And it never happened. So maybe it's just me who would like to play a kind of old versus old game. But, well, it's not happened. So here's a problem. Lineker got injured in the last game. Is he fit to play? Let's have a look. Oh, I can't pick Waddle. This player has been banned. Bloody Chris Waddle. Soon I'll put him midfield. I don't know. Put Lineker in there. I think I'll try a swap and put Neil. Oh, so Lineker's in, so that's good. Obviously, that injury picked up wasn't too bad. And Neil Webb is back in midfield. So away we go in this massive game against Argentina. We have to win this game to get into the next round of the World Cup. Got to go all out, haven't we? Let's boot them off the pitch. This is like Cameroon in 1990. And just pick all of the forwards. Take off all the defenders and pick all the strikers. That's the tactic for this game. It's like, what's his name? What was he called? Manager of Middlesbrough. Steve McLaren. You know him. He used to be England boss as well. Steve McLaren, when he did this in their UEFA Cup. Oh, he scored! David Platt has scored for England. I'm doing the wagging finger celebration. After 4 minutes, so a great start for England against Argentina. Trying to get revenge for the hand of God and all the other stuff. So it's still 1-0. And we need to win. So we're in a good position. Do I change tactics to make it defensive? No, because Neil Webb. Neil Webb has scored. The great Neil Webb. The legend that is. It did used to be a person, didn't it? Or is it something I've made up? I don't know. So anyway, we're off and running. Paul Parker now. 3-0. So obviously tactics have some bearing on this game. I want to play tactical match. 4-0? Lineker, it's like watching England versus Panama. That's topical if you're watching this video like in the days after I'm uploading it. In about 20 years' time, when nuclear war's broken out and people go on YouTube and see this, they'll go, what's football? 4-0 to England against Argentina of 94. This is obviously after Maradona's been banned for the white powder incident. Poor old Diego said no. So 4-0 England. I mean, this is just a walk in the park now. We might as well just skip to the next round because we're going through. We are going to be the World Cup winners. So, as you've seen in the press, if you're watching this game again right now, England beaten Panama. They've beaten Tunisia. Two of the best teams in World Cup 2018. They are going to be world champions. You can watch this video in the future, safe in the knowledge that Harry Kane has lifted the World Cup. He's been knighted by the Queen. And given the freedom of the country, he's the Prime Minister now, he's the leader of Brexit. Harry Kane is the greatest footballer in the world, and England are world champions. Or Germany knocks us out in the second round with a goal in stoppage time. One of those. So 4-0, did it all in the first half. Come on, England. We are into the next round of the World Cup. Not the FIFA World Cup, because FIFA will sue us. The International Football Jamboree. Who have we got? Italy, England, 1990. Germany, 1954. So Italy beaten Argentina in the other game in our group. So that was exciting. Marvellous England. Race results from air. That's the big news, isn't it? Who are United? Why are they playing while the World Cup's on? In the Daily Slag. In the Sporting Knife, Bruno in mean mood. They've also got the race results from air, which is obviously a good one. Goycochea fails fitness test. Ooh. So there's no fixtures today. It's always the bad day of the World Cup. But we're back at England 96-6. I've stuffed the Germans from 1990. Jackie Charlton, Jimmy Greaves, Bobby Moore. Penalties. USA knock out the Germans. Wow. John Harkes there, the Sheffield Wednesday legend, with the equaliser for the States. I don't know how penalty works, and spoiler alert, I don't find out how penalties work in this game. So that's the first set of games, the round of 16 complete here. Next up, another penalty shootout. Brazil have knocked out Italy. Romario with a late equaliser for the eventual champions of the actual World Cup, if you remember that one. And in the panel of Brazils, Pelé has scored, and Brazil winning extra time. That's the 1970 Brazil. Still not on. 8-6 Argentina, 3 Brazil, 1. Is that a bit of a shock? Possibly. Dominating that game, though. Italy 34, Uruguay 30, 2-1 to Italy. Don't know these players. Right, we're on. England versus Germany. It's the World Cup second round. I don't know any of their players. They got the two Volters, the Volta brothers, there. I assume they're Volta brothers, I don't know. Could look it up on Wikipedia, but can't be bothered. I don't think... this is the key news, is Chris Waddle back from suspension? He is. I can't believe I've dropped Neil Webb after winning the game last time out. John Miles got injured straight away. That's a bit of a schmozzle. Right, so we're underway. England 1990 versus Germany 1954. Now I really want to play Championship Manager All-Stars. These videos are just like stream of consciousness stuff because I would never have remembered Championship Manager All-Stars unless I'd actually gone on a discussion about old computer games and playing against, great sides of our time. You remember when you used to get like those generic D&H games on the Spectrum and the Amstrad, and the Commodore where because they couldn't put on the actual players at the time because there'd be too many of them, they just stick in like all of the top players at the time. So whoever you were managing in whatever division, you'd have all those star players. I think Rugby Manager by Mastertronic did that kind of thing. So you'd be... Every game it would start and you would be the appointed coach at a random club. So you could be coach of Widnes, you could be coach of Runcorn or Highfield, and you still have like a Fire and Hanley in your team. Only players whose names would take up 7 characters or less. So unfortunately for Gary Schofield, my colleague, Proper Sport, he won't be in there, which is a shame. I think that was the right anyway. No one seems to like that game. Terry Butcher has scored. If you're a rugby league fan, you would just be desperate to play any kind of rugby game. So even though Rugby Manager was a bit meh, it reminds me of this actually because it's the same kind of mechanic. The line goes up and down the field and decides who scored that way. You would play any game that had rugby league on it just because there were not many rugby league games. You can see my review of Rugby Coach, which is a very short video, on this channel. Like, subscribe, share this video with all your friends. Peter Beardsley is injured and being stretchered off. And you see, it doesn't immediately go to a substitution, so you're playing with 10 men for a minute. So you have to... Who do I bring on? I must bring on Neil Webb, because I can't bring on Trevor Stephen or Mark Wright, can I? And like it says, Wright M, but there's no other Wright in the squad. So I was trying to think in 1990 which other Wrights there would have been, because I don't think Ian Wright was necessarily around the England squad at that point. Obviously, he came in later. So I don't know why it says Wright M. You do need more. They do need to have more options in the squad. The squads are very short. That was the good thing about Tracksuit Manager. And of course, I say if you didn't manage England, you had to put all the players in yourself. But if you manage England, there were lots of players to choose from, so you really could choose your favourite players at the time. The Germans have scored. Klott with the goal. And 25 minutes left. Can England get a goal to win this important World Cup tie? Of course, you could play the game as if you were playing it in 1994, really, but I don't know what's the point of that. Oh, On the Ball World Cup, that was good. On the Ball was a very good football game. It had like proper graphics and stuff. That was out around the time as well, and they did a league version of that as well. You could fix matches, take bribes and stuff, so that was good. Like Ultimate Soccer Manager, that came later. Another fun football manager game. I've got loads of them, just in cupboards that I haven't played for ages, like Football Limited. I think that was one of the last Ocean games. Gary Lineker's been booked. That never happened in real life. Ocean. Oh, it's 1-1, so we're going to extra time. Yeah, it was Football Limited. I think that was a German game. Oh, Webb's been injured now. Bloody hell. Who's going to come on for him? Is it Mark Wright? No, I do. I'd get bored and bring Chris Watson up front. Totally playing this game in the spirit it's meant for. It'd be great if he scored the winner now, wouldn't it? You know, like Alan Fettis in for Hull. What was I saying? Oh, Football Limited. And there was Director of Football, which I think had Ali McCoist on the front, or was that a different one? What was the game with Ron Atkinson on the front of? I can't remember now. That might be. No, Ali McCoist had a game, even though he wasn't really a manager at that time. I'm going to have to do a obscure Football Manager video. Because it's the World Cup. I say this, Mai's been sent off. Great. Can we get a winner against Germany with 10 men? Well, they did the same to Sweden at the weekend, didn't they? Oh, hang on. Tempted fate there, didn't I? We need to do some more videos of old football games while it's the World Cup, but by the time I've done it. Hang on, Barnes has been injured and sent off. What? By the time I get around to it, the World Cup will be over. Like the Euros or whatever's coming up next. So England are out. See, it only says they're one sending off, but St. Barnes was sent off as well. Italy 38 had been Italy 1994 on penalties. And look at that, they were dominant in the game, 11 shots to 1. But you remember Italy 94 were rubbish at penalties. So the quarterfinals are set. Only 2 teams from the real World Cup are in, mainly because most of the teams in this are not. England struggle. The milk race is on the back page of the Daily Slag, along with Sally Gunnell's saga. What can that be? What was that game show she presented with Jeremy Guscott? Oh, can't remember. I'm going to have to go on UK game shows now and find out. Anyway, Germany 1954, they're not me out. They're not the USA out now. Schaefer scoring in the first minute. And Argentina 86 have been Italy 34 in extra time. Sally... God, it'll be on their Wikipedia page, won't it? Gunnell goes for gold, and Gunnell gets the gold. You know, that's it. She's 51 apparently, Sally Gunnell. Don't look it. And Italy 66 have beaten Italy 38 3-1. Could they go on to win? I'm just looking at this now. Wikipedia. You watch the semi-finals. England are through to the World Cup final. I'll tell you about Sally Gunnell's TV career in a minute. So they're going to play Brazil 70. Rivellino. Third, fourth place player first now. Go on the Germans. You knocked me out of the World Cup. At least beat the Argies. Let's have a look. They've won it in extra time. Go on the Germans. No medals for you, Argentina. So it's England versus Brazil. It is the World Cup final. And there's the England side. There's Brazil. Pelé, Rivellino, Jeff Hurst, Bobby Charlton. They're all there. All the greats in the game. As we enjoy a rematch from 1970, of course. That's a great game in Mexico where your man did that save, quarterbacks from Pelé. So Sally Gunnell's TV career. She's from Wikipedia. She was one of 4 celebrity guests in the ITV You Bet Series 7, co-winning with Michaela Strachan. In 1997, she was the recipient of the Big Red Book on This Is Your Life, on the This Is Your Life programme. She also a celebrity show jumper on BBC Sport Relief's Only Fools on the Horses, and won a Weakest Link Sporting Heroes special. Took part in a celebrity version of Total Wipeout, and took part in The Cube. I'm sure she presented a TV programme. I can't have made this up. It's just one of these things where I've made it up. Hang on. UK game shows. You watch the World Cup final. Still nil. The great UK game shows website, which, for those of you who don't know, I did my dissertation at college. Everyone does them on, like, serious things, like blaxploitation movies or sexism and stuff. I did it on game shows, as you do. And I'm trying desperately to remember what that programme was. It was on a Saturday night, and it's going to turn out that Sally Gunnell wasn't. Hang on, she's here. Right, hang on. Sally Gunnell. Body Heat! That was it! Oh, this was dreadful. It's described on ukgameshows.com, which I got most of my research for my dissertation from. As 3 pairs of yuppies get it all hot and sweaty through a variety of studio-based and outdoor activities. It was hosted by Mike Smith, the late Mike Smith with his helicopter, Sally Gunnell, and Jeremy Guscott, who of course went on to host Gladiators. I don't know if anyone watched it or not. Oh, there's a celebrity special. Hang on, when was this out then? 1996. 3 series of it, 94 to 96. How did that happen? I think I had a bleep test on it or something, which is not very exciting to watch on TV. Celebrity special in 1996 featured, I've heard of about 2 of these people. Jane Gurnett, Dwayne LaDejo, heard of him. Tristan Banks, Oliver Skeet, the show jumper, he's famous. Karen Dixon, and Sean Lloyd off the weather. Anyway, it's half time. It's England 0, Brazil 0. So I just read things from ukgameshows.com. Guscott did host Gladiators, didn't he? I'm sure he did. When, what's his name left? Old Thingy Bob. John Fashanu. You all seen. Oh, goal! Goal! It's a World Cup goal for Brazil. I didn't really like Gladiators. That's a bit meh. My favourite was... I know it's a goal for England. How did it happen? I thought Brazil had scored it. My favourite gladiator was Lightning, and everyone went for Jet, but I like to be different. Not that Jet was, she was fit. We would have been banned from having her on a poster of her up at school. Speaking of Ian Wright, he hosted the new version of it, which disappeared, with Kirsty Gallagher in Series 1. And who presented Series 2 of... is that 2-0 England? Bloody hell. Series 2 of Gladiators, the Sky version. Good old... what's his name? Caroline Flackers. I don't know why I paused the game for so long there. Maybe I was expecting to commentate on this one. I remember, because I'm just looking here, Shadow, right? He got banned from Gladiators because he took cocaine. And I went to a wrestling show at Rothwell Sports Centre, which is near Leeds. And he was in the main event. He was going to be fighting Giant Haystacks, the legendary wrestler. But Giant Haystacks wouldn't come out. So Shadow won by default. And the crowd went home happy. I reckon he didn't turn up. Now you know what you know, because you don't know what you know when you're a kid. But now you know. He didn't turn up, did he? But Shadow was there. God bless him. Like they weren't. No, I can't say that. That's libelous. Anyway, you can fill in the blanks there. Anyway, it's England 2, Brazil 0. Can Brazil cause a late comeback and steal a second World Cup title from England? Because it's coming home. Go on, sing. It is coming home now. Hashtag it's coming home. England 2-0 up against Brazil. Extra time. No. Penalties. No. It is victory for England. They are the world champions. The crowd goes wild. I don't know if anything happens after this. There's a thing come up. Oh, here's the stats. 19 fouls by England. 5 bookings. But they are the world champions. They won't care. And there's the end. Congratulations, England 66 World Cup winners. That's it. This is not the FIFA official product. But you can see like they've got the shirts on the background. And that's it. That is World Cup all-time greats. Play it. Don't. I don't know why I've started a new game. And I haven't. Enjoy all the fun of the 1994 World Cup with World Cup all-time greats. This has been the RSW Plays, at the RSW Plays, and there'll be more at another point in the future.